appearing of the winter sun. I found myself staring into nothing, moving sloth-like, actions and words suspended in midair, both requiring more effort than I could afford. All drive had been released from me, like a burst tire. I was flat, slow, nearly useless. Death had come for my daughter. The words made no sense. To me, they sounded like a different language, one I didn't know. Death. Dead. Deceased. I couldn't compute. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't grasp how she was here, chattering in her sleep just hours ago, and so I stared. Hours passed in our living room, where family joined us in the sorrow. It's too strenuous to look someone in the eye during times like this, so I fixated on a stray fiber in the rug, refilled my mug, found reasons to close my eyes for extended periods. Maybe it would all disappear. After the initial blow settled in, there crept up in me an amplified hatred of all things that reminded me of Daisy's cancer treatment and subsequent suffering. In a frenzied, brief burst, I rid my home of all medical paraphernalia. I hastily threw away all bandages, needles, sharps containers, medications, tubes, pumps, and alcohol wipes, shoving them deep into the trash can, slamming down the lid. What I couldn't throw away, I stashed out of sight while we waited for the medical supply truck to pick it up. Various machines for pumping drugs into Daisy's veins, a commode, a tiny wheelchair. The very sight of these accoutrements of torture turned my stomach, and they couldn't be gotten rid of quickly enough. Toward the afternoon, I spent some time in her tiny bed that had been at the foot of our large one, the one she died in, the one we crowded together on as a family while we cuddled her empty body in the night, while we said our last goodbyes as a family of 4. It was an old pine bed that my dad had built for me when I was a toddler. Daisy had still been so small, she fit perfectly in it, like a little mouse in a pocket. The bed sheets smelled of her, and I wanted to breathe as deeply as possible, as if the act would magically bring her back. The following day, though, Britt and I dismantled the bed. We knew that if we didn't, we would both continue to lie there individually, folding our bodies into the last place she had breathed, unwilling to accept the truth. It would become an idol to us, an altar of suffering, a pitiful attempt to keep things the way they were and not let them out of our desperate grip. After the house was rid of physical reminders of the toll cancer takes, I was left fumbling with my hands. Empty arms that for 12 years straight had been holding babies, making messes with preschoolers, or caring for my cancer-riddled daughter. I felt naked, exposed, and strangely self-conscious. The fight had ended, and I was the loser. Days went by, all melded together. How does one go through the motions of life when death has swept through your world? It was like trying to speak, but emitting barely a squeak. Trying to walk, but wading through quicksand. Trying to breathe, but choking on life. C.S. Lewis says in A Grief Observed, "Grief still feels like fear. Perhaps, more strictly, like suspense, or like waiting, just hanging about waiting for something to happen. It gives life a permanently provisional feeling. It doesn't seem worth starting anything. I can't settle down. I yawn, I fidget, I smoke too much. Up till this, I always had too little time. Now there is nothing but time. Almost pure time. Empty successiveness." I felt suspended, waiting, helpless, incredibly self-conscious in those early days. The awkwardness has taken a few years to subside. Like a pair of old jeans with a memory of its own that once fit every curve, I had to relinquish life as I knew it before Daisy left for heaven. I had to get used to a new pair, a new life. A new pair with different faded spots, different belt loops, different worn parts. No longer a family of 4, we had become a family of 3.